There's no stopping LeBron James and the Fighting Irish. Our Erica Robbins is standing by with LeBron James, the two-time National High School Player of the Year.
What a way to finish your high school career, huh?
Well, first of all, I'd like to give thanks to, my Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior. And I want to dedicate this season to my dad, Eddie Jackson. He's a big part of this, and everybody know what happened to him.
LeBron's dad. Who is he, and why in this clip does LeBron seem to know the answer to this question? Nowadays, LeBron is a pretty famous guy, and most of us know that he sadly never knew his father. Today, we're gonna talk about why all this happened, who his father could be, and how this strange clip came into existence. Now, this mystery gets pretty darn complicated, so strap in. But before we get started, just be sure to subscribe to the channel. I post NBA videos weekly, and I have big things coming in the future that, trust me, you are not gonna want to miss out on. Alright, let's hop straight into this. Let's start things off with LeBron's backstory. I'm gonna make this part short because I do have a video out that already goes very in-depth on LeBron's childhood. So if you want to get all the details, the link to that video will be in the description below. But to summarize, LeBron grew up extremely poor. So poor, in fact, that his mother had to give him up to another family when he was only 9 years old, just so she could afford the bills. The father of that family was named Frank Walker, and he was LeBron's football coach. Walker taught LeBron all about basketball and told him to try out for the local AAU team. This would be the start of one of the greatest basketball careers in world history. Most important of all, though, was that Walker was the first father figure LeBron ever had in his life. But in leaving her son, Gloria had accidentally traumatized LeBron. He would later write in his book, quote, "I became afraid that one day I would wake up and she would be gone forever. It's really all I cared about when I was growing up, waking up and knowing that my mom was still alive and still by my side. I already didn't have a father, and I didn't want to be without both parents." Because of this, Frank Walker never grew as tight a bond with LeBron that an actual father might. But as you might have heard in the clip from the beginning, James called a man by the name of Eddie Jackson his dad. Jackson was the boyfriend of Gloria James starting from the time that LeBron was 2, and helped raise him when he was a toddler. James really appreciated this later on, and that's why, even though he's not his actual dad, LeBron does call Jackson his father. Or at least he used to. Unfortunately, LeBron's worst nightmare of losing his father wouldn't only happen once, because Jackson was next. Jackson would be busted for trafficking cocaine in 1990 when LeBron was only 6. And then, just a few months before LeBron would make his NBA debut, Jackson was exposed for stealing about $800,000 off of a mortgage scam. Him and LeBron haven't cut ties, but they're not as close as they used to. This man really lost out on the opportunity of a lifetime to spend his whole life sitting courtside, watching his quote-unquote son make history, and get a couple millions without having to scam innocent people all the while. What a shame. But why was James in this situation in the first place? How come he still, even after becoming the most famous person on the planet, can't find his biological dad? Surely that guy wants to get some of LeBron's money, right? Or maybe some publicity? I mean, really think about it. Imagine yourself being LeBron's dad and just not telling anyone. That gotta be the craziest life. The issue is that Gloria James has been been accused of having affairs with many men around the time that LeBron would have been conceived. The two main names that are always brought up are Anthony McClelland and Leicester Stovall. Gloria has always said that McClelland was LeBron's dad, but even LeBron doesn't trust her on this and still says to this day that he has no idea who his dad is. In the year 2007, everything was supposed to be revealed. A paternity test was set up to discover who LeBron's biological dad was once and for all. And if you don't know what a paternity test is, well, you know that show where Jerry Springer screams out,
Jose, you are not.
Yeah, these kinds of results are from paternity tests. Stovall sued for $4 million and demanded to have the test happen for years, while McClelland stayed completely silent the whole time. But he did have the backing of LeBron's mother, so people were absolutely split on who the dad might be. But when the results came out, it said that neither were the father, leaving everybody just more confused. Stovall said even before the results came out that Gloria had cheated on him multiple times before, which leaves a lot of new candidates into the conversation, but we don't know any of them and none of these cheating allegations can be confirmed. The weirdest thing about the results though was that it really looked like McClelland was gonna be the dad. McClelland went to the same high school as Gloria at the same time, and witnesses have also said that they were in a relationship. Heck, even Gloria thought he was the dad, and she should know better than anyone. What really got people going though was this picture. Come on now, you can't tell me that that is not LeBron James in a wig. Paternity tests have a 99.9% accuracy rate, and after seeing this picture, my first thought was, well, maybe McClelland is just that 0.1%. Sure, this could be true, but let's visualize what 0.1% really means. Yeah, it's almost impossible that McClelland is LeBron's dad, but I still just can't get over this photo. You might be thinking that it's really weird that Anthony McClelland has stayed quiet this whole time, and you're right, it is super weird. But of course, like always, people on the internet have made up a lot of conspiracy theories to try and answer this question. The biggest theory going around is that his name used to be Roland Bivens, and he changed it when he went to prison for theft. And ever since, he keeps a super low profile under a completely new identity. People also speculate that he died in a drive-by shooting in 1991 when LeBron was 8. We do have this evidence of a gravestone that has Roland Bivens' name on it, and right next to that, there is a spot for Gloria James. That's pretty convincing stuff. Neither theories are that crazy. We can confirm that McClelland was indeed charged with theft and went to prison, and it makes sense that he never wanted to get involved with LeBron because at the time LeBron was born, Gloria was only 16 and McClelland was 18. Now, I can't confirm this, and this is no accusation. Let me make that very clear. But it is possible that McClelland fears becoming a convicted rapist if it is true that he is LeBron's real father, and that is why he has been so quiet about everything. Of course, it's not really up to the internet to decide if he is one or is not one, so this is just one of those cases where you have to throw your hands up and say, we don't know. As for the rumor that he died, that one actually does make a lot of sense. I mean, it just seems so unrealistic that we would hear nothing from LeBron's dad after every everything LeBron has become. But if the guy is dead, then I think we can all understand why the guy hasn't spoken up. So, to summarize, it's really complicated. We still can't say for sure who LeBron's true father is, but here are my top 3 best guesses after everything we've been through. Number 1, Gloria slept with a lot of men at that time in her life, and she, along with everyone else, has no idea who the heck LeBron's dad is. Number 2, LeBron's father was named Roland Bivens. He changed his name after going to jail, and he truly did die in a shooting in 1991. And of course, number 3, it's Delonte West. At the end of the day though, this is a very personal story involving very real people, and it's important to remember that. If LeBron wants to keep his family life private, good on him. We aren't obligated to know this kind of stuff. It is fun doing these speculations, but both myself and you, the viewer, have to accept that we are not entitled to a final answer to any of these theories that I have talked about. Recently, LeBron has been more and more vocal about what he thinks of his deadbeat dad, whoever it may be. Last year, he said this about his father, quote, "My whole life I grew up resenting my father. Everything was like, fuck Pops. He left me. Why would he do that to my mom? If I ever met him, we were going to blows right off the bat. As I got older and became more of an adult, I started to realize and think to myself, damn, what was he going through? Was it things he couldn't control? He's the reason I am the father I am today, because I always wanted to be there, to set an example, and be the father figure in their lives so they never had that resentment." And from what we know, LeBron has lived up to this. It's not easy living a life with so much traveling and hard work, but by at least the looks of Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, he definitely does his best to spend time with his children. He might not know his father, but he will make sure that they will know theirs. And that is where we are going to conclude today's video. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed it. I have really big projects coming out very soon that I am extremely excited for, and I know for a fact that you are not gonna want to miss them, so just click that little red button. Clicking that button really only does take like, what, half a second? Come on, why not? And with that, stay safe out there.